right, do I start it out here? Or do I like walk past the mess and then I hit the button and all of a sudden it's like...
Wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address.
I have a question. Are you an asshole? Do you want to become one? Well, then let me introduce you to Project Watts, the 1,000-watt, 12-inch studio subwoofer from Cali Audio. Now, for those of you who are adamant watchers of the channel, kind of know I like Cali. Ion 5 speakers, amazing. If you've been watching anything to do with DAC testing, ta-da. This is the Cali 6.2 with the dual 6.5s that I use in my literal DAC testing arena, and it's so good. It's the cheapest component in the entire system, with $2,000 speakers and $2,000 amps and a $500 subwoofer, because it's perfect. And I didn't know what to expect from the big boy, because it's double the price. Actually, it's less than double the price now that everything's going up. But where's that thing? Give me websites. Give me websites. And nothing works. This will work very slow. Okay, Project Watts, upgraded. The WS12 version 2 is a 1,000-watt powered subwoofer with the studio, blah, 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 $1,000. I didn't quite understand it until today. I'm just going to let it out. I've had it, I've been using it, and I'm trying to use it kind of like a normal subwoofer. And it was like, would I pay $1,000 for this when you can go out and you can get an SVS, you can get a Rhythmic? And then I started like actually studying the webpage. And I'm like, all right, okay, ooh, big 23 and 123, those are numbers we should remember. And then I got down and I started reading like the key design specs. This is designed to be the 0.1. In a 5.1, we're using the Cali, Ion 8s. So the 8-inch version of this, 5 of those, this is supposed to pick up the bass for that. That's interesting. And then wait a second, right there, it apparently is designed to fit in small passenger cars to take with you to your gig. And you know, you notice there's like a threaded hole on the top of this subwoofer, and it's kind of like that really imperviously murderable finish. Oh, fuck. This is a Pro Audio sub. You see the little guy here, the little 6.2, I added the handle to the top of it. If Cali wants to pay me royalties, they can add handles. Because I picked this thing up and I took it to Capital Audio Fest because I needed it when I was showing off something else. Because it does that very unique thing that studio monitor subwoofers do, is you feed a signal in, and then it gives you a signal out, and it steals the low end so that the speakers no longer have to attempt to reproduce it. That's very specific a studio sub thing. And a lot of studio subs are kind of like underperforming. This one is actually an exceptional performing sub. Just being two 6.2s. I got actual light on this fucking thing. There we go. Here, look at this. Oh my God. What a studio I built. So this little guy, absolutely one of my favorite subwoofers of all time. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to finish one of my favorite subwoofers of all time. That... I wasn't sold on it because I thought the quality of the actual sound was a little less. I mean, you're going from 2 6s, which are very fucking fast, to like a big 12. And it doesn't look very good. And I took the cover off, and I'll explain why I took the big steel cover off in a minute. But so the numbers that you should remember from that thing, I'm going to go absolutely blind, aren't I? Oh, Jesus God. Help me. Help. The numbers you should remember from what I just read is 123 and 23. 23 is how low this will go. It's a slope of negative 10, but it could still get down solidly onto the 30s to 23. Now, 23 is not 12. My Rhythmic back there claims 12. The big HSU claims like 17. So really 0.1, like movie applications, 23 would be acceptable if it got down there flat. It doesn't. But that's not the important figure when you read the 23 on the thing. It's the 123. And it's the thing that unlocked the, oh fuck, Zeus better make the review right now because he's about to rip his pants apart from erections. Let me bring back up Lord. Royals is good. One of my favorites is still Sane.
And I'm not in the swing of things.
The 123 is decibels. Now, when you buy a 0.1 subwoofer, you want to know how low it'll go and the sound pressure level. And usually it gets on real low. Real low. You want under 20, 18, 15, 12. And the SPLs are like 105 or 108. 123 is a league above that in output. This isn't designed for Zeos's beautiful little basement. This is designed for out in the fields. This is like a little Glastonbury box. You would obviously have like 37 of them for that sort of show, but they're promoting it that you screw in your speaker stand and you put your other speaker, which, by the way, none of the Cali speakers, certainly not the 5s. Yeah, they don't have the mounts on the bottom of them, and I just moved the speaker and I realized it's going to take a hot minute to get it perfect again. But that's designed for screwing in a fucking PA speaker. Like one of those scream at you at Disneyland fucking things. It's like 200 feet away. So in order to provide low end for that, it's got to do a thing. It's got to balance between how low it can go and how loud it can get. And Cali has made a subwoofer for assholes, which should be the title of this video, unless I can't make it that for reasons. So let me walk you through it. I'll get the cover out, and I'll explain why I took the cover off. There is one... First of all, the design, the swoop here, the kind of like... I know the Cali logo is that, and it just annoys me that it's not like... what's that word? Symmetrical. That's the word. So you got an asymmetrical metal cover. Now, I took this off. You probably never would take this off. But there is one blinding flaw in the Cali subwoofer, which is not a reason not to buy it. It's easily fixable. But let's get down on hands and knees, and let's look at the blue LED. You see it? It's currently shining through a wad of blue tack. If I take this off, yes, that distortion on your screen is exactly how bright this blue LED is. It is the brightest blue LED I have ever seen. And you know why? Because when you're outside in a field, it's got to compete with the sun. So as much as I hate on it, so all right, we're back. All right, I'm going to put this back over here because I'm not going to take this outside very often. And that nice little piece of blue tack. Oh, look, I can still see it. It's still blue. It doesn't project. Let's look at the actual stuff. I'm going to give it a little tilt. So now that I've taken the cover off, you can see it is rough. This is rough painting. It looks it's like I dipped it in body coating because they essentially did. This is not meant to make the wife very happy about a subwoofer. This is for fucking abuse. Now, you've got these two very strange, like double ellipses lobed triangular ports, so they're sort of flared, and it's wild, and you've got these, the metal brackets that hold that on with the screws straight into the wood. And so it's very industrial. You're not supposed to get in here. And there's your driver, and it's just a paper. Actually, it doesn't feel just like paper. It feels a little more than that, with a hella stiff surround. Hella. We're bringing that back, right? Hella stiff. So there's your front. You're not supposed to see it. It's supposed to look like essentially this. And there you go. There it is. When that blue LED is insanely bright, you cannot use it in the house. I couldn't use it here. I was going to rip my head out. And I got to explain also the positioning and placement of this. Unlike a 0.1 subwoofer, which you're aiming at getting the really low tones and you sort of put it in the corner, this is a performer. This is center stage, not because I'm too lazy to put it in the right spot. This is where this needs to be. And I'll explain why when I get... We may have to rattle that off later. Let's look at the back. Oh, by the way, did you notice there's handles here? Most subwoofers that you buy for your house do not have these. Again, we'll explain why this is a subwoofer for assholes. Because it's just here to make every speaker you've got, and I'm going to swap out mid-video if I feel the energy, play as loud as the biggest tower speaker at a concert you've ever heard. Power switch, your 115 220 switch, a giant panel explaining every frequency cutoff you need to set with the dip switches. They're still dip switching. Most other companies move to like a screen or anything else, but they're still, Kali is still small. And as long as you can flip a dip switch, you can make happy. So you have anywhere from 50 to 100 hertz cutoff in increments of 5 hertz, so no big jumps. And that is the cutoff between these two line ins and outs. My input coming from the A900 DAC over there is coming in, pure 100% signal, 0 to 20 billion, and it's getting output the limitation of, what did I have it set to? 65. So 1 and 2 dip switches are up, 3 and 4 are down. Those first 4 do that. Then you have LFE. If you want to give it full range, you can do LFE. You can do an external crossover, which is also technically full range. But I think it also removes the volume control, so it just nails it. So be careful between those two. You get your max input dBu. You get to change polarity with dip switches. You get to change the gain adjustment with the dip switches. I think I have it all set to 0. You can also input RCA or XLR, and then you just get XLR. So if you have single-ended stuff at home, if you're doing this or old mixing console doesn't have full balanced, you can still push it into this and get the full signal output since it's re-amplifying it anyway. There also is a foot switch here, which I do not have set up, that I'm imagining it's very, very similar, if not exactly the goddamn same. Try not to crush the wires. By the way, did I mention this is not very heavy? Like, it's just like you could actually carry this around and bring it places. Not that you're going to go on like long walks on the beach with it, but the foot switch would simply click on. You have to get a latching foot switch, not a momentary. And the latching foot switch, when pushed down, will disable the sub and allow full signal to pass through, presenting the speakers with bass. And if you have the thing up, then the subwoofer takes over wherever you have it set. So very similar, if not pretty much identically the same as the WS6.2, just more dip switchy. So put this back where it belongs physically, because that matters. Oh, by the way, I can stand and dance on this subwoofer, which is interesting. But now, so what it's doing, I have it set to cut off 65 hertz, eat all the 65 hertz and below, send the rest out to these speakers, which allows these speakers to play slightly louder, because instead of trying to do 45 hertz in a song from Lord or something, it just doesn't. It's like, no. Just give me the things that are like 65 hertz, 70 hertz and up. And the driver has to move much less violently. It can move. Smaller movements are much easier. So the bass driver relaxes. The mid-range driver should not really be affected by this. But you do get to push a little bit harder. And that's where the asshole comes in. I didn't like this sub. I didn't really get it until I read that whole thing about it being an outdoor sub and meant for SPL. And then I walked back here. I took that volume knob, which I had tempered at like just slightly above the midway point, and I just fucking nailed it. And I sat down with these things on 0, and I hit play, and every time a song comes on... Oh, yeah. Wait. I know these speakers. I know the Kali Ion 5s. I love the Kali Ion 5s. And I will usually give advice that every speaker, no matter how expensive, can use a subwoofer to fill in the low end. So now imagine a subwoofer designed not just to fill in the low end, but to take whatever speaker you're listening to and make it feel like the biggest, most impressive set of fucking monstrous towers you've ever heard. That's what this is doing. It's mono, obviously, is one. It's in the center. You could get technically 2 of them and run the signal line for one and then run the signal line for the other and then have stereo stupidity. Is that a band name? Maybe. But basically, this is taking over. If those speakers were on tower stands, now you're splitting that 12-inch between the 2 of them, and the sound pressure levels, because I'm playing it fucking loud, are just murderous. I am not worried. I am not worried about volume. That thing at maximum blends perfectly. That thing at half, it's like, all right, it's adding a little bit of the low end of it. But no. When you put this in the system, this needs to take over. And it doesn't have to just be the Kali speakers here, which I love and respect. They're self-powered. So what if I... By the way, this is Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis did do music for a while, and it was actually pretty good. And then he went deaf on the set of Die Hard 1 when he was shooting under the table. Those were blanks, but didn't have hearing protection. It was a whole thing.
Hold you tight.
Bruce.
You can smile.
I don't know if that'll get copyright. If I get copyright, do I give money to Bruce Willis? Because that would be all right. I'd be okay with if I get copyright struck for that. But all right, so let's... If you're watching this video and you're like, oh, but I don't have Kali self-powered monitors, Zeus. I need, I have this other speaker that I really would wish had more bass and more mid-range, but it's different. How can I make it go? Well, hold. Okay, we've graded it either up or side. So, Tower of God Season 2, absolutely one of the worst downgrades in animation and storytelling ever. Hopefully Season 3 is better. Anyway, that might even be a Kevin Penkin drop. I don't know what he did. So now, Buchart, I think you're the P200s, right? Yeah, P300s. Sorry, baby, you sit back there for a while. P300s, and I was going to try to use really powerful monoblocks to show you that you can really push like any speaker to the max. And then the monoblocks decided to go, I'm not going to start and work. So I upgraded to the Orchard Audio Valencia, which, if you don't know, is my collab amplifier for headphones with Orchard Audio, and it's a power amp. But you could take the amplifier away from headphones, but you can't take Leo away from speakers. So if you don't know, this collaboration is a 17 watt per channel headphone amplifier. But if you have 8 ohm speakers, which I'm not quite sure these are, it'll push out 7 watts out the back, out the secret banana plugs. So I could use it for speakers. It's also cleaner than his Class D stuff at 5 watts, just saying. But so that now is being fed as it was going to the thing. It's going fed here. And now we're powering regular old passive speakers. I mean, exceptionally good passive speakers, but regular old passive speakers. So I've adjusted the subwoofer because... Well, you could do the point is you could take this sub and shove it into fucking anything, whether it's a studio monitor setup or a regular old amplifier setup with normal speakers, and then you could adjust it both in the gain and in the crossover. So now, the best part about this is a pretty low power amplifier. 7 watts into 8 ohms is not a lot, but it's clean as fuck. Boy, if you want the big ones, you get the big ones, but I have a little one. So the problem comes when this speaker, this Buchart, tries to throw enough bass out of that 6.5 to make that thing go to try to make low end. And when that happens, that's when the power demands are the highest. So this little 7 watt amplifier, while being clean and amazing, you should all try your Valencia with spare speakers. It might push it too hard and you might get distortion. So what I did on the back, took it from 65 to 80 hertz. So no longer will these even get 80 hertz. Everything that and below, Kali's in charge of. And so I could push these higher and louder on a weaker, cleaner amplifier, and then integrate that same whomping sub. I have the sub, instead of it being nailed, it's like 40% higher than that's neutral, and that's like, oh, what are you doing? And then, oh, fuck you, idiot. So I'm still like, oh, fuck you, idiot, and not quite out of my mind. And so it's taking up. The louder this is, the less I'm relying on these to try to push loudly with a clean, gentle amplifier. And so Tower of God sounds fucking epic. I mean, this is like Dune soundtrack levels of stuff going on here. Weezer. There's the only negative point about this subwoofer, besides the blue LED, is its straight up LFE home theater performance. You can't use it as a 0.1 sub. I don't recommend it as a 0.1 sub. You could do better for $1,000. But in every other duty a subwoofer would perform, when you're integrating it with stereo, this excels. The fact that it has the built-in crossover and cutoff so that you could just put any speaker you have and be like, well, I know what, keeping in mind those are all powered and passive, but I know where that one cuts off. I'm going to cut that one off at 75 and share with that. And then, the SPL will go up, and you, as long as you're willing to plop it in the middle of your fucking living room, because this is, again, a speaker I think is more directional. It's beneficial here, not tucked away in a corner trying to just fill in that super low end. This is the fucking speaker you slam in the middle. I had a setup in my original grandparents' house, beginning of this channel, 13 years ago. There was a setup I had with a 12-inch powered sub and a 10-inch passive sub, acoustic research sub, and I put a little pot in the horn in the port, so I could adjust the frequency, adjust the gain, and I would swear when I started doing audio stuff that the best benefit you could ever have to improving speakers was not just adding a sub, was adding a directional mid-bass sub to the center. Because that's where the big sound comes in. This is big sound. If I had just these, and then there was a sub kind of politely in the corner, the sound would be good, but it wouldn't be holy fuck. This is parking a goddamn isekai truck right in your living room, pointing it right at you. And you know what? You could integrate this into... how much do these speakers cost? $1,800, $1,900? You get $10,000 speakers? I'll put the Mons up to it? I would be okay adding this to almost any setup. Any price range, any requirements of quality. Because as soon as you tune it properly with the frequency adjustment and the power levels to match my line inputs, well, what else? What? Like, it's just... That is not a that these speakers would ever be able to make. Actually, I'm going to have to tune it down a little bit more. So we're up high here, and I'm trying to like balance it out. So it's still a work in progress, but still ARPed. It's got harder ARPed. ARP me harder. That's just... That is officially, once you get this asshole sub, I'm going to keep calling it that because someone's going to get it for their dorm room, and it's not a normal subwoofer where it's just lows. It's volume. You're literally increasing the loudness level of what your speakers can... I know the Valencia is a kind of weak speaker amp, but it's so clean. And if I integrate that with that and whatever fucking speakers I put up here, it becomes the party system in the house. You want to turn every speaker into your college remembrance of a Klipsch system? Fucking add the $1,000 Cali to it. I hear things rattling that shouldn't be rattling. It could also be the front cover trying to flop off again because they still haven't screwed it in. But it's like, that's dumb. This makes everything I'm listening to dumb. And I still get the qualities of the boot cards. I still get that imaging and the depth and the softness of the vocals. Let me get some soft vocals. Vinland Saga's not soft vocals. Ennio Morricone. Sad Piano is not it. Back to Mushoku Tensei. Filter. It's so grunge. This is the most heavy metal setup you could have. It's just like, no, I just have this very, very delicately put together, very, very competent, very, very tunable, $1,000, 1,000-watt fuck you subwoofer. It's a fuck you subwoofer. It's meant to be in the middle of your music. It's not a subwoofer like when I talk about other subwoofers, those are subwoofers you put, and then you put them in the corner, and they support the speakers. This is as important as the speaker. Whatever system you put it in, whether it's the Cali self-powereds or two massive... I really should go out. At some point, I'm probably going to test this thing with like massive monoblocks and try to see if it competes and keeps up with things. I feel like two of them would be better. Hey, Callie, two of them would be better if I wanted to do that test. Send me a second one. Two of them. Because it's just... It takes over the boom. What's the stupid word that everyone says with bass? Does it have slam? Hey, mister, does that subwoofer have slam? Yes. In fact, it adds so much slam, you're going to have a slam fucking implant so that you could affect the slam. Doesn't make your organs bleed. That's how slam your fucking slam is. Yeah, it's a rock and roll subwoofer. It's the most professional party add-on you could get. It's like you absolutely could see you're doing mixes if you tune this down, you tuned it properly. You could get your big studio monitors and it'll be just perfect what it's for. But you know what? People who are watching this video don't care. People who are watching this video want to play fucking Rival Schools and Tools Intermission. And he really, really feel that like Yeah, it just makes every sound system sound twice as loud as it is. And it's going to make you an asshole in your apartment building. But all reviews must end. So now I have this. Actually, upstairs I have 2 Valencias powering my Klipsch Fortes. And those will eventually become on sale. Those will be a sale price on my patronage channel. Or I might even put them in the swap meet for the show price, which currently Valencias are selling for $2,000. The show price was usually $1,500 or $1,600. I think $1,600 if I put them on swap meet. So if you are a patron supporting this channel, you can see reviews early, participate in yard sales, get to lossless sound demos. And then if you're a super patron or in the patronage chat, you get to add to the swap meet where you can buy, sell, and trade gear. And I will do some exclusive sales there. In the meantime, Konosuba, Mac Miller, hold on. Wait, I gotta pause it so you don't get the copyright. Thinks I'm talking. Yay! Fuck. Hey, wait, I'll go far away. We'll run this review. I'll run this review far away. This is where you gotta know. The fuck is that? That's way too much, Mac Miller. I'm sure I'm getting a cop. I'm sure it's gonna be like, you played for 3.5 fucking seconds too long. Well, screw it. Links to that. Thank you to Callie for sending it out. Their little baby sub is a staple. And now I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm doing with this. Because, oh man, that's an addictive son of a bitch. Maybe I'll carry it upstairs to the curtain.